Because you're a fun Nick.
Yep. Okay. Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to Beer Analysis 101. Tonight, we've got a special treat because we're going to do something I've been wanting to do for a while. This is from Nickelbrook. Cafe Del Bastardo Bourbon Barrel-Aged Imperial Stout on coffee beans. I've got the 2019 bottle. Doesn't matter who everybody else brought. But let's check and see how everybody else is doing tonight with us. We've got First of all, Mr. Ashley Sexton of Sexton Brewing Co. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. It was a fantastic day. I went on a few adventures. I didn't get into any trouble. And now I'm here drinking this marvelous beer. Thanks.
All right, next up, we've got the Beard himself. How you doing, Redbeard?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me, Macwell. Looking forward to this beer.
Thanks for coming on.
Cheers, man.
And not being difficult to work with.
Never. I love
it. And another very special guest tonight, we have the basement himself. We've got Kozak's replacement. How you doing, Jamie?
I'm doing good, and we miss you, Chris Liza.
Me too. And last, but Greg, how you doing tonight, Greg?
I'm doing great. I just want to point out, now that Redbeard's wearing a red shirt, he's really more of an orange beard than he's a red beard. I feel he needs to change his persona and his beer festival name. He's been lying to us this whole time. We've just been blind.
Okay. I apologize, man.
Amazingly enough, you're not wrong. All right, so let's get down to the beer history, which is going to be brief tonight because I've been sick with a cold for the last week and I didn't really get the chance to do the history up to my normal quality standards, but I did get some details. Nickelbrook Brewing was founded by brothers John and Peter Romano in Burlington, Ontario in 2005. Previously, they had been owners of the Better Bitters Brewing Company since 1992, which I think one of them was actually the founder of that brewer. That brewery no longer exists, and I don't know the details. Nickelbrook was named after John's children, Nicholas and Brook. So that's where that is. It's not actually a river or a brook or anything. Anyway, in 2014, they jointly opened the Cooperative Arts and Science Brewery with Collective Arts at the former Lakeport Brewing Facility in Ontario. Collective Arts has since been bought out by Nickelbrook's. Collective Arts has since bought out Nickelbrook's remaining shares in that. There was a thing I read where they were they have a distribution center in Ohio now that opened in, I think, 2015. As of January 2019, Nickelbrook was the 6th largest brewery in Ontario. So other beers from Nickelbrook include a Headstock IPA, Bolshevik Bastard Imperial Stout, Naughty Neighbor APA, and a whole bunch of others, including the Bastard series, which is barrel-aged versions of Bolshevik Bastard. Although I think Bolshevik Bastard's one thing, the barrel-aged beer that they use is a bit stronger, and it comes out stronger still out of the barrel. I think it all started with which one came first, Kentucky Bastard or Whiny Bastard?
Kentucky Bastard was the original. First it was Bolshevik, then Kentucky, then I think Whiny, or I can't remember if there was. No, it was Whiny, and then this one.
Okay, because I remember Whiny Bastard having that in 2014 at the Minorano Beer Fest, and I know that I think he sent me a bottle of the Kentucky Bastard the following year for 2005. And as far as Cafe Del Bastardo goes, Cafe Del Bastardo is an 11.9% ABV, 70 IBU, Russian Imperial Stout, aged on Kentucky bourbon barrels with coffee beans added. Based off of course, Nickelbrook's Kentucky Bastard, Cafe Del Bastardo was first released in 2017 with the 2019 version using 6 pounds of coffee beans added from Happy Goat Coffee Roasters, added to every Kentucky barrel. Cafe Del Bastardo was rated as RateBeer.com's #1 beer from Canada in 2019. That's pretty. That's a pretty high number. And they also had. I didn't mention this, but they also had Kentucky Bastard, which me and Greg reviewed. I
had some too.
Isn't there another Bastard? Am I thinking wrong?
Wonky
Bastard, the new one.
Wonky just came out.
Ooh, I never had that one.
Just so you know, Nick, double check the ABV on your bottle because it's not what you said.
It's
a
just
little
11.
different.
What did I say?
Isn't that a 9?
Mine says 11.9.
Oh, wait, no, I thought you had the 2019 version.
I do have the 2019 version.
Where'd you get yours from?
2019, 11% ABV.
That's
What the
weird.
crap?
Okay, that's really weird because literally I sent both of your bottles, didn't I? And I
No.
got them from the same store.
Great, yeah,
Oh,
Greg, you
I-
sent me both my bottles. I'm gonna have to take a look at the other bottle.
I got them from the same store. And yours says 2019 Redbeard?
No, you didn't get me mine, Greg.
Mine
Oh,
is
I
the
thought
same
you
as
got
bought
Red.
yours too.
No, I
Mine
got
is-
mine.
Oh,
Mine is the
okay.
same as Redbeard's. It's 2019 and it's 11% like Redbeard's.
That is really unusual.
Really
Well,
weird.
you're welcome, Nick. I got you the better version.
Apparently.
Yeah, maybe they had more than one run, and the other one
Well-
came out a little weaker or something.
Oh, okay. I thought for some reason I mailed Redbeard his, but I guess not.
Greg,
No,
did,
that's one I can get all the time here.
Yeah, even my bottle, check your bottle, the 11 Redbeard. See what your coffee roast, coffee beans are supplied by. Is yours Happy Goat? Mine says Detour.
mine says Happy Goat.
Happy
Yeah.
Goat.
Coffee. What do you see where it's applied from?
Mine's Detour.
Yeah, this is weird. It's not
Weird.
place
It
here.
says it's right at the bottom here, like the ingredients thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's in the description here too.
Mine says coffee.
Like, I think original's coffee supplier.
Oh wait, mine says friendship happy goat.
Yeah, friendship Happy Goat.
So here's my question, Greg. Did you buy these bottles at the LCBO or did you get them at the brewery?
LCBO.
Interesting.
That's really unusual.
Yeah. That's catching me by surprise here. Like 2 different ABVs and 2 different coffee roasters.
I'm
Yeah,
curious
good
now.
catch
If,
there, Redbeard. I wouldn't have caught that.
yeah, I want to look at Untapped.
I just
now.
remember, like, when I did my review on this year's Cafe del Bastardo, I remember noticing and pointing out that, like, it's a little bit less than usual. And when Nick said 11.9, I figured he was just reading the description from last year, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, no, mine
It's very
actually
weird.
11.9, and well, and the thing is, their website says 11.9, and it says coffee from Happy Goat, but down below, and I thought this was a typo, it actually said Detour Coffee. So I'm like, well, what is it then? And I just went Happy Goat, thinking the other part was a typo. So now this is all Detour Coffee, or yeah, I'm thinking that mine might be the older one. But it's
Yeah, it's probably a couple different batches.
yeah.
Maybe they had a falling out with Detour Coffee. I don't know.
Or they wanted to make
Sleeping
a
in the
large
Brook.
enough production run or something. They could only get enough coffee from so much coffee from Detour or something.
I'm willing to bet if I had to put money on this mystery, it would have been that was the one with the Detour, and the 11.9 was the first run, and then they caught a mistake, and then they fixed it.
Yeah. I got. When did you get mine? You got mine in. When do they normally release these beers? It's like in the fall, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I got yours early December because I remember I was trying to mail you guys your shit before the Christmas rush. So
Yeah.
I mailed it to you middle of December.
And I would have bought this in the new year. I haven't been sitting on this for too long, so.
And yours said
I bought mine yesterday.
weird. Yeah, so I guess it's a little all over the place. So we're gonna have some different results. But I mean, I wouldn't care if it was this year's batch if that's what you had or not. To be honest, it's one of those beers that you could probably age, although the coffee would fade.
Well, it's the kind of thing, like, usually when we have some kind of beer like this, we usually have at least 1 or 2 different vintages, but now it's everybody has this year's, but a couple kind of different vintages also. It's weird. Like, I would like to try the Detour one next to the Happy Goat one and see
Would be
if
cool.
if there's any kind of real coffee level difference kind of thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I'd love to try both.
Cafe vertical.
Let's.
Yeah.
I guess we don't really have a lot of comments except for just one from Lee, where he's saying listening to incidental music from Star Trek TOS while waiting. Take your time. That's while we were getting started. Ashley said, "Cheers." Sorry to steal your thunder, Ash. Let's go over to histories with this beer, and I'll start with Ash.
I'd like to say I've had this every year, but I don't think I've had it. I don't think I had the 2017. I had 2018. Oh no, you know what? I definitely did have the 17. I've had this every year. I bought multiples of last year. I actually bought it 2018 and sat on it and drank that early 2000. Yeah, I buy this every time. This is probably my 3rd or 4th bottle of this year, I think. So, yeah, I enjoy it. That's it.
Cool story, bro.
Cool story, bro.
Beard.
Pretty much the same as Ashley. I've had it every year since it's been out, and I've been a fan every year. I think the first year I didn't buy any more than the one bottle, but this year I've bought a few. I like this year's version a lot. So, yeah.
Right on.
Oreo says hi. Oh.
Hi, Oreo. And Jamie.
I know I had 2 years ago. I think I only had one bottle, and then last year I bought I think 2 or 3, 3 bottles of it last year, and then this is now my first of this year's. So I've had a few. Wait, what was the first year of this beer?
2015, apparently.
15. Yeah. Okay.
Was
So
it 15 for this? I thought it came out in 2017.
That's what I thought you said.
No, goes back to my first check-in was hold on. I think my first check-in was early 2016, so and I think that was 2015 vintage.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, because I was going by the oh shit. The Canadian Brewing Beer News when they said the beer launched. So
Yeah, my very
there's
first-
a possibility I had it 4 years ago. I don't remember. I'm not sure, but I've definitely had it 3 years in a row.
My first check-in was January 31st, 16, so it would have been the 15 vintage. And I remember it took a while to find it because it was a pretty hyped beer when it came out, and it was sort of hard to get.
nice. All right.
Mhm.
Cool story. All right. So let's go over to Greg, who's got all the history for himself.
I buy a couple bottles every year since the beginning. I know many of you don't know who he is, but there's this guy on YouTube, used to be on YouTube, called the Albino Rhino, and he, I think, tried it and loved it and said it was amazing. And, Chad's always right. So I figured, hey, you know what? He's never steered me wrong. I'm going to get a bottle. And I bought a few bottles every year. Not too many, though. So I don't know. We'll see what the review looks like before you know what I thought of it.
Right on.
I have a history.
And so do I, actually, because I've had this a couple times myself. I managed to get a hold of a bottle. I'm trying to remember who sent it to me, but I did do a review, number 1108, more recently, actually, a year ago, February 2nd, 2019. I posted it. I think I actually reviewed it like in October or something, 2018. Either way, I did have a chance to try the 2018 batch, which I believe I picked that specific bottle up in when I was visiting Klizak, when I went during on the 10th bottle share. I bought another bottle, which I think was a 2018 batch in this past, like the past bottle share, the Well and Piss Up. And I can't remember exactly. I think I actually bought it from Nickelbrook themselves, which I'm pretty sure that one was a 2018 bottle, but I didn't untap it, and I should have, but I'm getting pretty slack with Untapped. But yeah, both times I've liked it. It's been a pretty stellar beer. This time I'm excited to try the 2019. So, yeah. All right. Anyway, we got some comments there from Eric Cleaver and Lee.
Cool
Wanna
story,
read 'em?
bro. Yeah, I'll read them.
Cool.
And so Lee was just sort of firing a warning shot at us, saying, "Now I'm listening to you guys, so make it good, or else." He didn't say the or else. I've just added that, but you could hear it in his voice and the anger of his typing. Eric Gilbert in the chat saying, "Cheers, fools." I asked him what he's putting down his throat, and then Lee said, "Yeah, that old review could be from the year 2000, Nick." At the rate that you do release your videos, it is very, very true. And Eric Gilbert is drinking a Dominion City Town and Country Blonde Ale. Great brewery. I haven't had that Town and Country in probably 2 years, but I have never had a bad Dominion City beer. So it's a good one. That's it.
All righty. All right, so I imagine we aren't ready for opinions yet because we're moving through this pretty fast. Though, any points of conversation?
I would say there's plenty of time for opinions, Nick. We're all drinking while we're listening to your history. That was absolutely disappointing this week.
Well, I'm talking about like opinions and final ratings.
What I will say, I was at the LCBO, and they sort of released them in the same sort of order, but I did finally see the Whiny Bastard has arrived at the LCBO.
Ooh.
Oh, is it out for this year?
Yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of last year's version. I think Amy was. I wasn't.
I was tempted. I stopped in at the brewery on Sunday when I was in Hamilton.
Nice.
I went on the way to Hamilton, and I got a bottle of the Wonky because I tried it at that festival and I really liked it. And
what is the Wonky? What's the shtick behind the Wonky?
Chocolate mint.
Chocolate mint. That sounds.
It's mostly chocolate with just this little bit of a mint. It works. It's like chocolate. It would like pour it on ice cream would be delicious, I think. But it's also 7.9.
I wish I'd gotten more of the Kentucky Bastard. That stuff was fantastic.
That was good.
I find with the Whiny Bastard, the first 2, maybe 3 years I had it, I fucking loved it. It was so good, so well balanced. It reminded me of another really good similar beer was the Bellwoods Donkey Venom. And both of them, same concept, a soured stout, but it was very well balanced. Both of them have gone the way of just being completely acidic, completely too sour for my personal taste. So yeah, I have not enjoyed Whiny Bastard in the last 3 or 4 years, and I have not. Well, they don't really release Donkey Venom anymore, but I haven't really enjoyed that for a while either. So
I've never been a big fan of the Whiny's. Never been a thing I've really liked at all, and also I'm not a big fan of their Cuvée series. Even this year's the Guts and Glory, whatever the hell it's called, Golden Glory. I'm not big on that one.
I'll tell you, the Whiny Bastard. I've only been drinking Nico Brooks beers for 3 or 4 years, and every year I have not liked the Whiny Bastard. What is the name of it? Golden Glory or
yeah.
The Barf and Glory.
Yeah, it was fucking gross. I dumped it. I'm pretty much done with Nico Brook, other than like their headstock is still good. And every year I'll buy the Cafe del Bastardo. The what's the coconut stout one? The Kentucky. That sounds good. I would definitely buy that one.
It was good.
Everything in the Bastard
the
series. Everything in the Bastard series is worth at least giving a try, in my opinion.
Yeah,
like, that's their only line that like
this will be the first year that I skip the Whiny Bastard, just because I've tried it a few years in a row and I haven't liked it any time. So
yeah,
that's totally fair.
Yeah,
it was out at the brewery when I was there. I didn't grab one because I'm over.
It's never been balanced like what Greg said. Years ago, he felt it was always just too just acidic and just I don't know, tasted kind of barfy and not for me. And I like wine, but.
Listen, I suspect, and I'm not Ashley Sexton, so I can't tell you for sure. But in my very uneducated opinion, I sort of suspect I think it's the same thing that Bellwoods does. I think they reuse their barrels, so when they have fresh barrels, they're really nice and tasty. And then when they use them for another year or two, they don't produce as good beer out of them.
Quite possible.
I believe that. Yeah,
I don't think even Ashley Sexton is actually Ashley Sexton.
Well, we're not even sure if he can sexton, so
I don't know.
No idea. Kentucky Bastard was good this year.
Yes.
And
yes.
I honestly wish that I will echo the exact same sentiments as Jamie. The Cuvée was bad. And I would just prefer that Bolshevik would actually just be a nice mainstay. I mean, if they're releasing all of the other Bastards, why not just have the OG, the base, available at the exact same time?
It used to be in the LCBO like all the time, and now it's never for
and it was so cheap. It was a 4-pack for $9 or $10. Like, it was so cheap and so good.
I don't need that. Like, I mean, we would all agree we don't need a cheap 4-pack of that. I mean, the base is just nice. It's a nice imperial stout. It's no nonsense. It's just good. And it would be nice to have that.
Yeah, maybe not like $10 for a 4-pack again, but but like $15 for a 4-pack would still be worth it.
I like the $10. Listen, I've got jackets to buy. I need to save money everywhere I can.
That hobby doesn't pay for itself, man.
Arc'teryx ain't cheap, baby.
No, it is not.
Alrighty, so let's. Are we ready for some rating?
I can get into it, but I will just go back to the comments and Eric,
sure. Let's read those first.
Eric wants us to know that the only opinion that matters is his own. So
where is he saying?
Well,
so now it's the Eric Gilbert show.
Delivered.
Eric Gilbert should
It's
get
not
here and
wrong.
join us one of these days.
Yeah, if we can get the webcam, yeah. That's why we don't have any viewers. We keep inviting them on.
Yeah, we'd have no viewers.
No one needs a webcam. Your cell phone can make a perfectly fine webcam.
Hey, we've had Radar on here without a camera before. Doesn't have a microphone.
To be fair, maybe he's like Lee and just doesn't own a cell phone or any other
That's possible too.
device like that.
Yeah, we know that Eric Gilbert would actually get the right beer.
And hopefully he wouldn't message us at 2 a.m. because he's drunk.
Oh,
and wants to
jeez.
play.
Can you start? Somebody start a hangout. Somebody start a hangout. Places to call at 2 o'clock in the morning. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't feel that bad booting him last week. Anyway. All right, so let's go over to.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the beer now.
Yeah, if you want to.
It smells roasty. It smells like a bourbon barrel, and it smells like coffee. I don't know. It's I don't even know what to tell you about this beer. I'm like sort of blanking out here for a second. Great beer, smells fantastic. I think this is a beer that is, if you're really after that coffee, it's best consumed when it's super fresh, because the coffee will fade over time, or at least in my humble opinion. I get a lot of barrel, a lot of vanilla, a lot of sweetness on the aroma. I get a little bit of coffee on the sip. I'm getting a lot of those dark roasted notes as well. Getting some molasses. I find the coffee sort of plays at the tail end on the finish. That lingering coffee bitterness sort of comes through a little bit. I find that the barrel sort of hides the coffee note a little bit more. Yeah, I mean, really 11.9%. I'm halfway done this bottle already. There's no alcohol burn whatsoever. As normal, these guys are doing a fantastic job of hiding the ABV, so you can accidentally drink this way too quick if you're not paying attention. I'm probably drinking mine a little bit too cold. I've been trying to warm it up like a la Yoda, drinking some coffee, But I mean, overall, this is a delightful beer. I'm always happy to buy it every year. As I think I mentioned earlier too, I bought a bottle last year. I think it was a 2018, and then I think I had it like halfway through 2019, or maybe it was like in the spring. And it just didn't do it for me. I found that the coffee had fallen off. So to be drank fresh, in my opinion. Very tasty beer. I would love to have this like this beer if it wasn't in a barrel, just to see if the coffee pops a little bit more, because I love coffee. I love beers with coffee in it, unless it's something stupid like a blonde ale or a pale ale or something like that. But so if we're going on for rating, I'm going to say personal preference. I love this beer. I'm very happy to buy it. I'm happy to buy multiples of this. I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10 for personal preference. Are we rating this as just an Imperial Stout, or as
Imperial Stout?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout.
Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout. I'll give this a 9.
That's 99.
99. Why not?
9.
9. All right, let's move over to Mr. Beardo. The cat in his head.
Yeah, I love going after Ashley. It's the best. Basically echo everything that he said, except I think I like it a bit more. Like, the bottle that I had and reviewed not long ago, I didn't get a lot of coffee on. This one here, for some reason, the coffee is really coming through, so I don't know what's going on with that. But as far as it goes, like, I'm going to go 9.5, because I think this is absolutely fantastic. I love this beer.
Wow.
I can't wait to watch your cat wreck the shit behind you. It's gonna be so funny one day. He's gonna go to.
I think it'd be kind of funny if his cat blinded him.
Your Lego is going to disappear. Oh, kitty, so cute.
If only we had a laser pointer that we could point at that Lego and just see the cat.
Imagine? Oh, that'd be amazing.
Oh, don't think I don't have a laser pointer.
Yeah, we'll point it at your Lego.
Oh, that's cool. Look at that. Woo!
No, that's not cool.
You're going to destroy your camera doing that.
If I do it a lot, yeah.
Is it bad for a camera? I didn't know.
All right.
Nick would know.
Well, yeah. If you strong enough laser aimed at the cause dead pixels in your camera.
This is a very not strong laser. Sorry, Jamie. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. What were we talking about?
Beer.
Beer!
Of course.
So of the 3 years that I can 100% remember, I'm not sure if I had it 4 years ago, but the first year it was a good beer. Last year I would say great beer. That was my favorite so far. This year it's a good beer. Like it's just last year was the perfect amount of like, just shout out to Paul. It was bombastic when you open it up. Like you could just really smell that coffee. This year it's more like, it's been open for a while. I would say when I first opened it up, it was more kind of like a sweet, almost like I don't know, a Mars bar and maple syrup, like that kind of, and vanilla. Like it was all the sweet. Didn't get much coffee on it. Now I'm getting a little more coffee as it's warmed up, but it's so slight. If it didn't say anything about coffee on it, then I wouldn't even focus on that. I would be focusing more on the vanilla, the sweet, the chocolate. So I guess for ratings, I'll just give it a little. I think last year I probably would have given this like a 9.5s all around. This year I'm just going to go for style, for a flavored stout or a barrel aged stout. I'll give it a 9. And then for personal enjoyment, I'm just going to go a little bit lower. I'm going to go an 8.5. Still a really great beer. Just last year was the pinnacle of the few years I've had of this beer. So yeah, that's it. Next. Greg.
First of all, I want to say rest in peace, Kirk Douglas. You died way too young.
Another one lost too young.
Another one
young at 103.
Very, very, very upsetting. You had your whole life ahead of you, but don't do drugs. Okay,
He was
so
Spartacus.
the beer. This is a tricky beer because they call it a coffee beer. If I were to rate this solely as a coffee beer, I don't know. Maybe there's different batches. I've never gotten much coffee from this beer. Like, to me, it's like they drop a coffee bean into the boil, and that's pretty much it. If I were to legitimately rate this as a coffee beer, especially this one, since the one I had about a month and a half ago was better than this coffee beer wise. If I were to legit rate this as a coffee beer, it's like a 5.5 out of 10. It's an awful coffee beer. There's a hint of coffee, barely passable. But I'm not going to be that mean because this is actually a really good beer. I'm also not in love with it either. It's to me, it's, my dog's gonna knock over this table. It's pretty tannic. I get a lot of barrel from it. I don't get a lot of the base stout. As I already mentioned like 1,800 times, I don't get a lot of coffee from it. So to me, it's a pretty good bourbon barrel aged stout. Not amazing by any means. Definitely a lot better examples, and that's how I'm going to rate it, as a barrel aged stout, because I just can't in any good faith call this a coffee beer, because it's really not. So as I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 for style. My personal enjoyment, I'm going to give a little higher, actually. I'm going to give an 8, because I actually do really enjoy this beer, despite the fact that I really feel there's a lot of flaws in it. And for what it costs, I can get better beers. Like, for instance, our friends at GLB, which I believe is the same price or within $1 of this. Shut up, Arnold.
Oh, like Solstice?
Yeah, Solstice Stout. I keep going there every couple weeks and buying another 6-pack of that because that stuff's so good. And it's the same price per bottle of this. And frankly, the two aren't even in the
6-pack of
same league.
Solstice.
I'm sorry if you're a fan of this, but the two beers aren't even in the same league for around the same price. Can you fucking relax? Jesus, buddy.
For me, currently, I'll go for the Kentucky Bastard over this one just because they're so similar, and the Kentucky's $1 less.
You know what? Okay, now that's something I actually wanted to address as well. I'm glad you brought that up. Kentucky Bastard for me is hit and miss. I feel some years it's absolutely phenomenal. Last year was absolutely phenomenal. This year I was disappointed by the bottle I had. And I do feel that has to do probably with what I mentioned earlier is the barrels. I think some years they rebarrel, and it may even be the same year. It came out of different barrels, so it tasted better or worse, you know? So I don't think I do think Kentucky Bastard is incredibly inconsistent, but I have had examples of it that were absolutely phenomenal. 9.5 out of 10 all day long. My dog is nuts right now. So as it is right now, I don't know if I gave my rating, but I'm giving it a 7 for style and an 8 for overall enjoyment. I like the beer. I just probably don't like it as much as some of you guys do.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Arnold gets a 5 out of 10 for being bad.
So, spank that dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cruelly animals right on beer analysis 101.
Don't you know you've got to spank the puppy?
Animal abuse 101.
All right, Peter Gabriel. All right, so my opinion of Cafe Del Bastardo is that I'm getting nice amounts of chewy caramel, vanilla, and bourbon coming out of it. Woody dark coffee or woodiness and a dark coffee earthy bitterness in the end. Espresso dark roast coffee lingering in the finish. I do get a lot more coffee than some of the others here are talking about, but I find that the coffee note is stale. Maybe that owes itself to being a few months old would have been better, a bit better fresh, but I'm not 100% certain about that because it was aged in barrels in the first place. As far as coffee barrel aged beers, this stuff is fucking phenomenal. But at the same time, like when you compare it to other bourbon barrel aged imperial stouts, like Double Tempest comes to mind, thanks to Greg, or even that Solstice, like you were talking about. That Solstice was amazing. But and I think maybe a little bit of it is the fact that I've got a cold going on right now, so my sinuses are a bit plugged, and I can't really get a good feel for this beer. But I just feel like that stale espresso coffee is kind of overwhelming the finish in this thing, and I'm not getting enough of that that chewy bourbon vanilla kind of notes coming up off the front, which usually you feel in your sinuses a bit more where it comes, and it balances out the flavor of the beer. I still think this is very good, and I got another bottle of this to try by myself at some point now to see how much I like it once this clears up. But I gotta say, like the Detour coffee version, I'm thinking of drinking the same one Greg's got, and I'm getting a whole lot more coffee on it. But it's like everybody else has been saying, it's not the best of the style. But I do really like what Brook is doing with their bourbon barrel. This is the best stuff they make. The Bastard series. The other stuff's been but the Bastards have always been generally pretty good. So I've been kind of struggling to give this the rating, and I'm thinking I'm just going to give it 8 5s for both style and overall. I've had better, but this is still damn good.
Alrighty, well, while the computation machine comes up with the algorithm to calculate the scores, I will read the comments.
I will make the graphic.
So we got Eric, and he was questioning who would actually wear a Kitchener Rangers sweater to a beer analysis 101. And the logical answer is the guy from Kitchener.
Bastard.
And then Eric was wondering, it was a statement, but they blow what they blow, who knows? And then I refer to him as General Gilbert, and then I second-guessed myself because I couldn't remember if it was the Oshawa Generals. It is. Eric Gilbert's family members are Kitchener Rangers. Bazinga! Bazing! All-day suns for the Oshawa Generals. Lee's still watching. Hopefully we're making him happy. He was saying that Nick's grinder handle is old Kofefe.
That seems accurate.
And Eric Gilbert finished off with, I can live with that That one, basement, as long as they never become the Peterborough Pete's. Yeah, where did that name come from? That's terrible.
Maybe it came from Peterborough.
The same,
Like,
same country that couldn't think up 2 different names for fucking 2 of our like 5 national football fucking teams.
The Red Riders. It's so stupid.
Fucking so dumb. And
There's
then
18.
we got a new name. We got a new name. We're the Red Blacks now. Like what?
The Red
What?
Black.
What? So dumb. So dumb.
Take a color and a shade and just slam them together.
Yeah.
Red Black. What does it even mean? There's no football
We're
context.
going to play the Purple Greens tomorrow.
Oh God.
So dumb.
So dumb. So dumb. I couldn't agree more with you, Rick. It's so dumb. Oh man. Oh, the good old CFL. I used to love the CFL when I was young too.
It's the only football Kramer watches.
Really?
It was a throwaway line in an episode of Seinfeld.
Was it really?
Something. Kramer's like, I only watch Canadian football. It was funny.
Oh. Interesting.
What was that?
Kramer from Seinfeld only watches Canadian football.
I'm going to disagree with
Never
you.
seen
There's
that
no
show.
throwaway There's no throwaway lines in Seinfeld. It's the best show ever made. Every line in that show is gold from start to finish.
I can't refute that.
Is that on Netflix?
I don't know.
Seinfeld
That's a great question.
I thought Seinfeld was the whole series of Seinfeld was on one of the services.
I've only seen about 5 or
Well,
6.
I'm sure it is.
I thought it was on
Didn't Friends just get like switched over or something for some outrageous amount of money? I heard something about that. I think maybe.
Yeah, that to me is a show that's overrated. I never really enjoyed it.
I like both Friends and Seinfeld. I find Seinfeld better, way better. But Friends, aside from them not having cell phones and just having no friends that aren't white, which is odd in New York City, it's still rewatchable in my opinion. It's so funny and I like it. Yeah.
But all of these shows are trumped by Married with Children. Gold standard for sitcom right there. Love that show.
Ashley aspires to be Al every day of his life.
Oh, he already is.
Life imitates art, or art imitates life, or however that saying goes. Art imitates life.
Art imitates Ashley.
But guy, like it's not a super well known fact, but I don't know his name, but the guy that played Al, he's like a world renowned fucking martial artist. It's pretty crazy.
What? Ed O'Neill?
Look it up. Look it up. Yeah, man. He's like a black belt, something crazy kind of shit.
Yeah, but could he like handle himself with Chuck Norris? I don't know.
I wouldn't put him that far up there, but Chuck Norris now he's getting up there. I feel like Chuck Norris's speed's probably starting to wane a bit.
A few last things from Lee. Why not just call your team the Destroyers or some shit? That's cool, right? And Lee is he's the outlier. He's saying that Seinfeld is hot garbage. However, in the same breath, he says Ashley knows, and I'm just assuming that's for Married with Children. Yes,
Ashley's the one that can relate the most to Married with Children. You know,
he's literally Al Bundy.
He's married with children.
The only thing is, Al Bundy did not work in an outdoor mall, and people could actually visit him in normal clothes.
Yes, he does. There are a few episodes where they're in the store and there's a tornado going by, and you can see all of the wind.
Wasn't the tornado just a bunch of fat women stampeding?
Oh,
no,
I love the fact that Ashley has this like ready to go, cocked and loaded. Like, no, man, no, we are the same person.
No, I'm not saying. No.
Got a built-in knowledge base of Married with Children episodes in his brain.
Married to Children was Married to Children was somehow written by somebody that went into the future and met Ashley, and Ashley told them his life story. They went back and was like, "This is a show that everyone will like right now." So,
well, they don't have to go into the future. Like, I mean, even as a young lad, Ashley Sexton was. I mean, first, like, he was alive when the show was created, and even as a young lad, I imagine Ashley Sexton pretty much had life stories to tell. Because Ashley, I feel, grew up fast.
I did on the mean streets of Calgary.
I was born in the mean hospital in Calgary.
Oh yeah, that was a weird tidbit of information I completely forgot about.
All you fuckers are from Alberta? Because then we find out Nick was from Alberta today.
I was from Calgary.
No, I spent a year out there.
Oh, okay. Because I was born
I'm
in
not
From
gonna change him.
Alberta,
Toronto.
Redbeard's from Alberta. Jamie's probably some from Alberta.
See, because I was born in Toronto, I moved all the way to Mississauga, which is right next to Toronto, and then now I'm back in Toronto. So I'm not that well
But
traveled.
actually, you're in Etobicoke.
Yeah, you're in Etobicoke. Don't call it Toronto, man.
It's Toronto. It's my mail all says Toronto on it. You know who I pay taxes to? Toronto. So
Yeah, but
it's
technically,
Toronto.
Mississauga is Toronto, isn't it?
No.
Isn't Mississauga between Etobicoke
No, it's
and?
not part of the GTA. It's its own city. It has its own mayor. John Tory is my mayor, the mayor of Toronto. Abby Crombie, whatever the fuck her name is, she is the mayor of Mississauga. So see, different city. So, but
Isn't Abby
There's no
Crombie the
mayor
name
of
of a store?
Etobicoke.
what's that?
That's Abercrombie.
Oh,
No,
Abercrombie and Fitch?
Abercrombie. I think that's a clothing store.
yeah, that's what it. Yeah, it just that sounds very similar. It's pretty funny.
Oh my God. Okay, let's get to the scores and then we can wrap all this up.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Before
So there
you
you go.
yell
There's
at
the
us.
scores.
Well, that's a good showing overall.
Yeah, that's
Not
not
bad.
bad. I don't think that beats Rochefort.
I like the 9 there too.
Doesn't beat what's it? Miller Genuine Draft or anything.
Well,
Didn't we have a recent one that was really high?
Yes, Solstice was really high too, wasn't it?
I think. Well, didn't we have like a new record kind of recently? I don't think it was Solstice though. Was it?
It was Solstice.
Was
Okay, I got to go to the comments.
All right.
Eric Gilbert was throwing down some gang signs and was saying MWB. What? But I think that's just code for next week's beer. And Lee was like, Nick spent a year there. Racism confirmed. 100%.
Wow.
Shit grows on trees.
Polar opposite of racism living out there.
Eric Gilbert, this is like awesome. Ashley is balding as this goes longer. I love that. It's so fucking true.
You see the hairline receding like a progress bar.
Nice.
Thank you for that, Eric. That's awesome. I love that. And what's next week's beer again?
WB.
NWB. What?
You know what? We actually didn't talk about what next week's beer was going to be. That shows how on the ball we are this week. So, what would we rather do? Chimay Bleu, or would we rather do BA 101? BYOB?
I want to get the Chimay Blue out of my fridge.
Yeah, get the Chimay.
Let's Chimay Bleu. Chimay Bleu. Let's Chimay Bleu. It is. I don't have the beer to show. Just pretend this bottle is Chimay Bleu.
You don't have a Chimay Blue?
I do. It's just over that way.
Is that available anywhere?
Aging.
Well, I have a bottle. So that I bought.
Is it just called Chimay Blue?
It's Chimay with the blue label.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you remember
Chimay.
we did Chimay Red, right? We did the premiere. So this is the Grand Reserve, which technically is a Christmas beer, but we didn't do it on Christmas because we couldn't all get it.
Under the LCBO, would it be like Blue Cap?
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, another name for it is Blue Cap. It's the it's not quad, but it's similar. It's the Belgian Strong Dark Ale.
It's a double.
No, the red's a double.
No, it's a double.
Double?
Chances are I won't be on because the nearest bottle is 120 kilometers away.
Ugh. Unless Greg can send it. Unless
Jeez,
we want to do
sending red beer and everything.
Yeah, unless you want Greg to send you one, and
I'll probably just bring the score down on that one anyway. So I'll be around for the chat. I don't have to be on them all.
We'll probably have Craig on here. So
Why does a red beer travel 120 kilometers? And probably there'll be a Taco Bell in the same area where you can get that beer.
It is in Sudbury.
Taco Bell.
We'll see.
Apologies, Nick. You are correct. It is a Belgian strong dark ale. The red.
You know what? I can't lie. It would be possibly kind of fun to like bring my cameras and stuff along and like do like the whole. This is red. I'm going to fucking Sudbury just for Taco Bell. Everyone, look at me go.
You do that through go through a snowstorm, blaring the immigration song from Led Zeppelin.
Yes.
All right.
So he doesn't know what that is. Anyway,
is that
more comments?
You know what?
More comments?
Did you say I don't know that song? What?
Wait,
what?
That's a song from Thor Ragnarok, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not.
That's where
No,
it kind of
that's the song
finally
from
became
School of Rock,
known by
bro.
everybody. But yeah. Come from the land of the ice and snow.
Wait, is Led Zeppelin a band or is it like literally a Zeppelin that was made
It's a
out of
lineup
lead?
of clothing.
It's a way of life.
Jesus
Oh, okay.
Christ.
Way of life.
They're actually a super group. Pretty sure the
Sorry.
guitarist from Limp Bizkit is in there.
It's the bass player with the black eyes.
Remember from Nirvana.
Hey, this is going on so long that now Eric Gilbert has confirmed that he's balding now. So let's get.
Oh, no.
Sure.
I think that's high time to take this thing
Eric
off.
Gilbert is Ashley Sexton.
Yeah.
Oh, confirmed.
Ashley Westcott. All right. So
Wait,
yeah,
does
let's
that
take
mean
this thing.
Eric Gilbert's having sex with Ashley's wife?
Oh, let's get going.
I mean, I'm just using the power of deduction here.
I'm sure he's a fine lady friend in his life. There we go.
Oh God! All right, so let's finish it off on one thing. I want to say thank you to everybody who popped on: Ash, Redbeard, Greg. Thank you for changing your name, and Jamie,
You're welcome.
as well
man.
as people watching, Eric Gilbert and Lee. And I'm going to leave you with this little tidbit right here.
Yeah, throw that poop at your neighbors. Yeah.
Redbeard. All right, have a good night. We'll come on with the after chat in a moment.
And everyone, this